Yeah, buddy. I want to start by saying thank you for all the support. We're closing in on 19k subs. Couldn't thank you enough. I honestly didn't think I would make it this far in the YouTube game, but here we are. Anyways, I have a laser guide for you guys. We're going to go over why we use it, how to use it, what to use it on, all that good stuff. So I'll leave bookmarks and check marks and chapters and all that good stuff in the video so you guys can scroll through. Let's get right into it. So first of all, the whole point of the laser is to avoid a really long ADS time. No matter how long your ADS time is, it's always going to be a lot faster. It always stays at this speed. When you have to go prone, it's much faster than pulling out your scope. Cool little trick to avoid the really long ADS time as well is if you're starting off in the laser stance, you can just press it and it will go into the ADS form at that speed no matter what. It's really not that bad, so you just do that. You can get better at it. You can actually use this mid-fight. If you're using this consistently, you will have a huge advantage over other players. So if you go to your settings, controls, and combat, we scroll down to switch optic or zoom, and usually this is N by default, I believe, but I think left alt is probably the best option because pretty much every button around it is already taken. You need to be able to hold shift. We'll get into that, holding breath. So I use left alt, and that makes it very easy to hit on the fly mid-fight. So when you hold your breath, ADS or laser pointer or whatever, it makes you a whole lot more accurate. If you look in your stability stats and details, it'll show you your actual reduction when you're holding your breath. We got it down to almost 50% reduction on this build. I recommend putting a laser on the right rail because it's easiest to see, but it's also decent on top here. So you put on a tactical riser, like all your rails are already in use. It doesn't really matter where you put it though, as long as you have one laser. It's also really nice, like say you're on a story above somebody else and you're right above them. I think it's much easier to see aiming down on somebody too. It's just a lot less awkward when it's close up. But make sure you're still using your hip fire, because when you use the laser, not only do you get the ADS buff from it, but you also get a hip fire buff. That's what accuracy is. I don't know why they call it accuracy, but basically it just gives you a way better spread when you have this on. You do also get the benefit of faster ADS in general, even when you're not using the laser sight, you're just using your normal sight, and it lies to you. Like, see right here, it says 506 milliseconds. When we take it off, it'll say something better. It'll say 462, right? And we go check this out. It's even slower. But we put this laser back on. It says it's going down, but that's because it's only accounting for the fact that it gives you a -4 on your base stats. It's not accounting for your effects. So that's why it's actually faster. It's a profit of handling. Let me go back. It's faster. So that's how the stats pretty much lie to you. Let's see what happens when we put on multiple lasers. See how the stats keep going down? It's not lying to you anymore. It's not lying anymore. It gets worse. Once you put on more than one laser, you're only getting the cons and not the benefits from it. Oh, whoops, I put a flashlight on. That was a bad test, but I'll show you again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Easier to see, though. If you only use the laser, I guess it's okay, but I wouldn't recommend. So what you could do is, because on a lot of maps, you can't see certain color lasers. Like, it's honestly impossible. So you have multiple loadouts. If you're happy with one loadout, you could save it multiple times, but with different colors. So if this is happening to you, instead of having to leave the game, you can just switch your loadout, have a different color, and you're ready to go. You just right-click on the gun when you're dead and you want to choose your gun. Not every gun is a laser, but the laser will say. Like, the SMG-45 is the best example of a laser, but if you use it on something like the K4, I know my intro is a bad example. Let's check this out. I won't breathe in just to really show you guys what's up here. I'm not even talking about the vertical recoil, it's just that horizontal. Just pulling out a little bit just to show you guys. We'll breathe in. Yeah, it's pretty much unusable. Maybe I'm just terrible, but I would not use it on the K4 or the SG550. And I believe these are balancing reasons. I think they did this on purpose, because if you were able to laser sight the SG or even the K4, it'd be unstoppable. SG550 is already a meta weapon, by the way. You're gonna have to feel it out for yourself, but you'd be surprised what works with the laser. Like, I use it on the Scar, which is a battle rifle. Honestly, I think they forgot to nerf the hipfire on this gun. It probably will happen in the future, because this gun is so damn good. And when you add the laser to it, it makes it the most versatile weapon in the game, arguably. This is beneficial to understand, especially with my builds, because I still try to give my builds like a decent hipfire or ADS speed, no matter what the gun is. But with the laser, you can kind of juggle the ADS speed and just cranky control and stability, making these guns absolute laser beams. And I'm sure this will be a very, very common question. No, I do not use a custom crosshair. I don't really have a take on... I don't want to tell you guys to use one, and then you look in the, like, terms and conditions, and then it ends up being a, you know, a banned thing or something. So I have no take on that. I don't use one. I don't judge people that use one. Here's, like, the only time I wouldn't use a laser on a gun. It's simply due to the fact that the SG550 already has an insane handling speed. I was pretty much able to sacrifice all that handling simply just for one control panel. But other than that, honestly, I would use it on everything. Of course, the only issue with the laser is your enemies can see it, but typically they're gonna know you're in those areas anyways. That kind of sounds stupid now that I said that out loud. Pretty much you're going routes that people are already heading and stuff like that. So there's my breakdown of the laser sight and why it's pretty much the best attachment in the entire game. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. And also feel free to trade some cards down in the comments. We have until the 11th of February to finish this up. So trade some cards up, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.